Hello friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Meg and today's video is very exciting. I've been excited for this all week. I have barely been able to stand it. I am adding a mini pond to my garden. At the beginning of the year, I try to write down and think about the goals that I want for my garden this year. And one of my main goals for this year was to add some water features to my garden. I have some very small water features already. Like I've got bird baths. I have the little bee baths that I have hanging up throughout the garden because I have the bees now. So I've got to make sure that they have a water source. But I've always really wanted a little pond, and my entire backyard is very sloped, and I don't think that an in-ground pond will be a possibility for me unless I were to kind of like hire a company to do it for me, which would be very, very expensive. I don't see myself navigating how to create a pond in a sloped environment when I just have no experience with that whatsoever. So I'm opting for an above ground mini pond. I would actually really love to try to add an in-ground pond here at some point, but my skills and my budget right now are saying no. So the past couple of weeks, I've been really researching how I can make a mini pond here, what I need to do, if there's any kits available out there, because you guys know me, I'm a woman of convenience. I love when there's a kit and I don't have to DIY too much. I'll DIY to an extent, but if it's too much DIY, I'm just like, So after some research, after watching YouTube videos of other people creating their little mini ponds, which people get so creative, it's a whole other world out there, and I'm very intrigued by it. But I'm starting out simple. I got a mini pond off of Amazon. It is called the Aqua Garden No Dig Nature Pool, and it does have some kind of mixed reviews online, but I have watched videos of people putting this together, and it seems like a really good product. I don't know, we will see. Just a disclaimer, I have no affiliation with this company whatsoever. I bought this with my very own money, but we're gonna put it together today and see how it is. I'm gonna take you guys along with me on the process. And just so you know, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never made a pond before, so this should be an experience. I've picked out a place for it. I've got rocks, gravel, I've got plants that I'm gonna add, and I even got some small fish that I'm gonna add as well. So I'm ready to go. I'm excited. Let's do this. Okay, so this is the spot that I have picked out for it. This is kind of like my little pollinator patch. I have a Mexican sunflower over here, some volunteer sunflowers that came up because my bird feeder is right there, and then I've got some salvia and this kind of empty space right here, so I figured it would be perfect for a nature pond. Like I said, my entire yard is sloped. There's nothing flat about my yard. It doesn't look like that on camera, but it is. So I'm gonna have to level a little bit here. I'm gonna have to scrape the gravel. There's some landscape fabric underneath here. I'm gonna remove that and just kind of try to get it level. I'm gonna remove my little solar lantern here, put it somewhere else in the garden. Isn't this cute? I love this. At night it lights up and these little things light up and it looks like it's pouring out like lights. It's really cool. Okay, so I got the area kind of prepped. I got it as level as I could, but I need to really put the thing together and put it here and then level it to see if I can get it just extra level. Here's the pond. It's a 50-gallon pond, and what's cool about it and kind of what sold me on it is it has this really cool ladder that goes up the side like a frog ramp so that frogs can easily get into the pond, and it even has like a little beach area where they can just bathe. And I saw that and I was like, that is precious. I am sold. I want the frogs to be able to have a beach. The stairs are also great for the bees and the butterflies to just kind of sit on the steps and take a drink or take a little dip. Also, under the ladder, it has where it says you can build a bug home underneath the ladder in this triangle shape. It says materials not included, but you can just put some sticks and like pieces of logs under there to create a little bug home. So I really like the whole like ecosystem aspect of this little mini pond and how it's not just a container. It comes with a pump, but I think it's an electric pump, and I'm not going to be able to plug this into electricity. So I got a solar pump that's like separate that I'm going to try out for a little bit. So here I'm just getting all of the pieces out of the box. It comes all put together in one nice little box. And it comes with a liner for the liner, or I guess it's like a pad to sit underneath the liners. And the whole frame of the pond, it just clicks together. There are these little notches that you install in each part of the frame, and then the next frame clicks into those notches. So once you hear a click, you know that it worked and they're connected. So my camera overheated on me. It was way too hot out here. So I went inside for a little bit, took a break, and came back out. And it's like past 4 o'clock now, so it's cooling down some. But whenever my camera overheats, it does not save the footage. So it kind of cut out me adding the liner. So all I did was I added the liner. There's these little notches all around the rim that the liner just hooks into. And then I added the ramp here on the side. I got a bunch of different types of pond rocks from Home Depot. I got some beach pebbles, some white beach pebbles, and then some larger rocks. So now I'm just going to take these out and give them a really, really good rinse before I add them to my pond. So now that I've got the rocks all clean, I think I'm just gonna do like a little, just a light layer of these pond stones on the bottom. I just think it'll look nice, and I think I will probably be able to see the fish a lot better. I'm gonna need a lot of rocks. So it turns out that I kind of need more rocks than I thought and that I bought, but that's okay. I'm gonna make this work because I just want a thin layer anyway. So I'm just gonna kind of lay them out a little more strategically. I'm hoping that I rinse these off enough so that they won't make the water cloudy, but there's a real possibility that it might be cloudy. So I'm gonna add some of these pavers to set plants on. There is a little plant pocket right here where I can put like, I don't know, like one plant maybe, but I have some potted plants and they need like a little ledge to sit on. So I'm just gonna stack some pavers here. I might do some over here as well. The pond is filled now. I'm really glad that I rinsed the rocks because it's still just a little bit cloudy from all of the rock residue, but if I hadn't rinsed them, it would have been way more cloudy. So now to prep the pond for the fish, I'm gonna add this, it's called Stress Coat, and it just removes the chloride from the water, any ammonia, so that it doesn't kill the fish. So now I'm gonna add the plants, and I need to figure out some way to disguise the plants' pots because I'm just leaving them in the pots. And I think what I'm gonna do is, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That way there's a pocket here that can hide the plant pots. Canna lily, it's already blooming, but the flower's dying off, but that's okay. It looks like it's about to rebloom again. So I'm just gonna like add these pots in really slowly so that the soil doesn't go everywhere. I think that's gonna be perfect because this will disguise the pots and also kind of just keep them in place. And then lastly, I'm gonna add this beautiful chameleon plant. Pocket over here for another plant, but I don't have one that's not potted, so I'll have to get one of those later and put it in there. Lastly, I'm going to add some of this floating water lettuce. It looks a little crispy because on the way home from the plant store where I bought these, they shriveled up because I didn't keep them in a cup of water like I should have, and I made a few errands along the way. So yeah, but hopefully they'll come back to life and they will just float here on the top. And lastly, I'm just adding this little solar pump, this little solar water pump that will give it a little bit of a spritz. It's a little short on battery because it's evening time, the sun is not out, but it's just a little pump that floats on top, and it sprouts water like a little waterfall. I'll try to get a shot of it tomorrow when the sun comes back out. But for now, I think I'm going to take it out so that I can just go ahead and put the fish in here without startling them too much with this. Here are the fish that I got, and I will go ahead and say I know absolutely nothing about fish. I got these fish based solely off of the suggestion of the person that sold them to me at the fish store. She really seemed like she knew what she was talking about. I told her I'm a beginner, I have a 50-gallon pond. I was like, what can I put in this pond? And she was like, I think you should go with 2 of the comet goldfish and then a few minnows. And it looks like she gave me like, I don't know, 7 minnows in here. They're rosy red minnows. So I'm just gonna let them float for a little bit in this bag. We're gonna acclimate them. This is what I was told to do. Again, I know nothing about fish, but she told me to just kind of let them float in here for like a good, 20 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna open up the bag and kind of start adding some water in little increments at a time, and then just let them swim out. Okay, I'm officially finished with the pond. For now, there are a few things that I still want to add to it. Like, I definitely want to add some more water plants. I especially want to add plants that will kind of float on top and give the fish some shade, and maybe like some places to hide, because right now they don't really have a lot of shade. They do have, I've noticed that they like swimming in behind the potted plants in those like cracks and crevices in the little like wall that I built. So at least they have somewhere to hide. But I think that they would appreciate a little bit of shade, especially since that pond is in part sun, almost more on the verge of full sun. It gets maybe like 5 hours of direct sun per day, which can be a lot. So I am definitely going to add, I think I would love like a lily pad or something to go right in the middle. Also have realized that the little floating solar pump that I got, I think that that is something that's perfect for like a bird bath, like to keep water moving. So I'm definitely going to put those in my bird baths, and moving water deters mosquitoes from breeding in there and multiplying as well. So I'm definitely going to use those for my bird baths, but I feel like it's not really the right thing for that pond. So I have my eye on like a solar pump and filter that has like a whole solar panel and everything. It's a little bit expensive, but hopefully it's going to be worth it because it also has a filter as well. And since I do have the fish in there, I think that I do want some kind of filter just to help keep the pond clean. All in all, I think that this pond was incredibly easy to put together. It only took me like a few hours to do the entire thing. I mean, you just click the thing together, you put in the liner, you put your gravel, you decorate, you acclimate your fish, you add it, bada bing, bada boom, it's done, you have a pond. I was actually really shocked at how easy it was, and now I kind of just want like 5 more just to put around my entire garden. I definitely think if you're someone that's short on space, or maybe even you want a pond on your balcony, I think it definitely could fit on a balcony. It's a little overpriced for what it is, so it's ringing in and around, I think it was $220. I'll have to go back and double check that, but that's pretty pricey for what that pond really is. I mean, it's really just pieces of plastic that click together and then you have a liner. And if you're somebody that's really good at DIYing things, unlike me, you probably could build this yourself for much, much cheaper. I've seen so many incredible, incredible DIY pond builds, but for me, with my skill and my laziness and how I just love convenience, that's why I just pulled the plug, even though it did like hurt my wallet quite a bit. I just hope that it lasts. I hope that it lasts. I'll have to do like an update with you guys maybe in like 6 months or a year. I'll try to do updates. I know I'm gonna get this question asked, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. I know people are going to ask about mosquitoes. Are you not afraid that mosquitoes, you're just creating a breeding ground for mosquitoes? And that was my question as well when I first started looking into this. And I don't think the mosquitoes are going to be a problem for 2 reasons. One, if I have the fountain and I have the moving water where it's sucking the water up and it's spitting it out, that's really hard for mosquitoes to breed in moving water. Two, the fish, especially the minnows, they'll eat the mosquito larvae. So as long as I have my little minnow friends in there, I'm not too worried about the mosquitoes, but I'll try to keep tabs on it, and I'll let you guys know in an update. I also really love the little ramp that comes with it. We have a lot of frogs here in the South. If you live in the South, you know what I'm talking about. After a rain, it's like the song of the South. You just hear a bunch of toads and frogs just I hear them so loud. It sounds like they're right outside of my door. It sounds like they're circling my house actually, and they're just right outside. So I know that there are frogs here. I know that there are frogs that are gonna enjoy that pond. I also love the little beach kind of function where like multiple insects or critters or frogs or whatever can kind of just dip themselves into the water if they want to. Overall, I think I'm gonna rate this pond like maybe an 8 out of 10, only because I think it's overpriced. I honestly would give it a 10 out of 10 if it was just a little bit cheaper. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There very well may be more videos like it because I have like a little itch right now. I can feel it, like a little pond itch, and I might be building more. Kind of like I can feel a new like hobby hyperfixation just kind of clicking into place, and that definitely just, it felt like it ignited something. So there probably will be more videos like this. So if you want to see more, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.